so the company that Tom just mentioned, were working very heavily with Vertical Mapper and that SDK. So it was one of the primary objectives was to make sure that the new raster capabilities worked effectively with existing Vertical Mapper data. Of course, once they started migrating to greater than 2 gigabyte files, they'll need to switch from Vertical Mapper into MRR, but that's their plan anyway. So certainly the answer is yes, it works very well with Vertical Mapper data.
Fantastic. Good news for that user out there. And then, are we talking about MapInfo Raster as a standalone application, or is this an extension that folks will need?
There's multiple answers to that. The thing that I showed in the demonstration is an add-on for MapInfo Pro, so it's not a standalone. It builds on MapInfo Pro, takes advantage of all of MapInfo Pro's vector capabilities, and then allows us to do combinations of raster and vector analysis all at once. But the SDK that Steve mentioned is intended to be standalone, and also we're implementing capabilities in Spectrum Spatial and through the product line. So yeah, it's a multifaceted answer to that.
Oh, that's great. And then what about, we're talking about all those really cool large images that we can process quickly. Is there an upper size limit for these images?
Steve, you want to take that?
The size limit is what your hard disk can handle. We've done testing, I think I might have mentioned it, we've done testing with data sets up to 1 terabyte of MRR data. Now that terabyte of MRR data is incredibly compressed. I mean, we do compression under the hood that is either lossless or lossy. You can choose lossy compression if that's what you like. But most people, when they're talking about amplitude data, want lossless